guys, welcome back. For today's video, I filmed for you all 4 of my go-to glute burnout circuits. So one of these 4 I will tack on at the end of a lower body or glute focused training day and do them. If you're not new to my channel, you know I talk about burnouts all the time. I am a huge fan of burnouts. I do them for pretty much every single muscle group. So every single day of the week, no matter what muscle group I'm targeting, I'm doing some form of a burnout at the end of my sessions. And so of course for the glutes, that is no different. So I wanted to share with you guys today the ones that I am doing most frequently. Now, as far as burnouts go, burnouts are primarily used in order to promote more muscle growth. They're also a great way to get in more variety into your training, increase the volume of your training, as well as bring your muscles closer to failure. And so that's just the simple basis behind burnouts. But again, I am just a huge fan of them, find them to be completely effective, and I always make sure to incorporate them into my training. And so now into these actual burnouts, this is the first burnout option, and this was literally how I ended my glute focused training session this day. I whipped out the camera and filmed it while I was actually doing it. So this was after an hour and a half or maybe a little bit longer glute focused workout, and I was definitely on the struggle bus a little bit, but that is just me. I always get the most creative or best ideas at the most inconvenient times, and that is what happened. I got this video idea in my head as I was about to begin doing my burnout for this workout, and once I get an idea, I am determined to just get it done. So I'm definitely struggling a little bit through all of these clips, but I did the best I could and got the best clips I could for you guys, so please bear with me. And so here we are doing 30 frog pumps, 20 glute bridges, and 10 side lying hip raises on each side. Then you're gonna rest for a minute and then repeat for 3 sets total. You are meant to be pumping out all of these reps. I want the tension to be constant. Keep those glutes fully engaged through every single rep, and then you will get that 1 minute rest before moving into your next set.
I can't wait to leave this town, 'cause lately I've been feeling down. The cold nights just don't feel the same. Oh, like my life inside a car. Hit the button, drive real far. Put that record on.
Now, burnout option 2 is really beginner friendly. It's a really great way to burn out the abductors. It's also very simple. You are literally just going to lean forward for 10 reps, sit up straight for 10 reps, and then lean back for 10 reps, and that is the entire circuit. You can also increase the amount of reps if you are more advanced and you would like to do like 30 reps each or 20 reps each, or even if you are really crazy, you could do something like 50 reps each. Usually when it comes to burnouts, I like to also a lot of times do AMRAP, which means as many reps as possible if you don't know. However, whenever I'm giving you guys workouts, I don't really like giving you guys AMRAP because I know if I'm not there with you in person, a lot of times people don't go to their full potential when you tell them to just do as many reps as possible. So I like to give set number amounts and then just give you guys a rest time window instead. But definitely feel free to go ahead and adjust the numbers according to your fitness level, whether you need to do a little bit less or you want to jack them up and do way more. That is completely fine as well. Now, out of all 4 burnout options, I would say this is the most intense option that you could choose. This one is definitely a little bit more lengthy and intense on the glutes, so definitely more for my intermediate to advanced peeps out there. And so here for this circuit, we are starting off with the reverse hypers, and you're going to be doing 10 reps of these. moving into the second exercise of this burnout is going to be the side lying hip abduction, 15 reps on each side. Now I'm showing you guys my personal preference of a setup for this movement. There are a few different ways you can perform this exercise, but this is my preferred method. So I like to do them off of a bench for an extended range of motion. I like to keep the non-working leg placed in front of me. And then just an exercise cue overall for this movement is that for the working leg, to make your toes face downwards through each rep, or what I like to do is try to get my heel to face up towards the ceiling, which is pretty much doing the same exact thing. But you see, as I move down, my toes are faced towards the floor. That's just going to ensure that you're using more of your glutes and less of your thighs in the movement and just feeling it where you should be. And then to finish off this circuit, you're going to do incline glute bridges with an added abduction on each rep. So put on your resistance band or your hip circle, lie down, put your feet up on some surface. Benches work great, and get into a glute bridge, push out for an abduction, come back together, and then back down, and that's one rep. Again, with keeping the tension constant, you want to pump out these reps and really keep your glutes fully engaged through every single rep through the entire set.
Inside a cup, forget the world and drive real far. Put that record on again. Oh, my love, it's you and I. Close, close, and come back this far. So reach for the stars, 'cause we're aiming high.
Here we are in the last option. Burnout number 4 is going to be a single leg hip thrust and then standard hip thrust. So for the single leg hip thrust, this form is going to vary a little bit different from the hip thrust, as in instead of moving from the sternum down, you're actually going to allow yourself to hinge around that bench, and then you want to keep your back neutral and come up to a full hip extension on each rep. The creator of the hip thrust, Brett Contreras, made a great post about that a few weeks ago, pointing out the cues and things. So I'm sure you can check out his Instagram if you want to know more about it. But the single leg hip thrust, even being body weight by itself, is definitely a tricky movement to get down, even still for me doing it frequently. So just keep working on it, and I'm sure you will master it eventually. But once you finish out those single leg hip thrusts, you will get into a standard hip thrust, but we are incorporating a 2-second iso hold on every single rep. So when you come to the top of each rep, you want to hold that position for 2 seconds and then slowly lower down, and then repeat for 10 reps total. Alrighty, and that is going to wrap up this video. I hope that you all give some of these a shot and let me know what you think and find them as useful as I do and use them as frequently as I do in my training. But yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to give a thumbs up if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye guys.